Welcome back to Window Chats with Robyn, the Instagram Live podcast where I chat with very interesting people while sitting by my window. It's been going great so far. I'm very excited for the guest today. It's Connor. So, fun fact about Connor, he taught me one of my many improv classes at Second City for one whole day. And honestly, it was that impactful that I decided to bring him on as a guest. So I see he's here. We're going to invite him in. Okay, here we go. Sending. Work today? That's the question. I have faith though. I'm feeling good, feeling confident. Yes, it worked. Hi. You do look different. You do look a little different from your headshot.
Right? Yeah.
But not terribly so that I'd be, is that really you? I've had that. My earlier guest last week, I'm like, is that you? That's very confusing.
I thought you meant they sent someone who looked vaguely like them to take their place. And you know, maybe that's something that I would do, but it's not today. I'm actually here for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I would send a doppelganger to do lots of things for me, but not this.
Well, no, because this is definitely going to boost your career. So
oh yeah,
we're here to market you. I think.
Robyn,
I don't know.
I'm desperate.
You say you need it, but the number of people that reached out that were so excited for me to chat with you, I was so impressed. I'm like, how you know a lot of people.
How many people, be honest? Was it like one?
Okay, it was at least 3 or 4. And that for me is a lot because I don't think anyone looks at my posters at all. I'm always surprised when someone agrees to do this with me. So
well, 3 or 4 people is a lot for me too. That's very touching. Thank you, whoever you are. Probably my family. So thank you so much. It's very nice.
It's a little uncomfortable that they got my contact info, but yes, we should.
A little weird. Definitely weird.
A little weird. I guess. But thanks for agreeing to do this.
Are you kidding? I'm happy. This is to be here. This is a lot of fun. I'm bringing my A game. I got lots of great stuff to talk about. Whatever you want, whatever I've been up to for the past year, whatever we've all been up to for the past year. The problem is that only takes about 5 minutes to kind of talk about because I haven't been doing anything at all. So I don't know what you want to discuss, but I'll try to stretch it. I'll try to make it work.
I mean, I don't know. You're coming in with great ideas. I don't want to stifle your creativity. So if you have some, I
have no creativity. My creativity has been stuffed down for the past year. Like I've been, we've all been just kind of trying to get out from under the insanity of our own lives. So, whatever little, I predict this will be the little kind of seed of creativity that starts to grow again, this chat will be the little seedling that sprouts the creativity in my life again. I'm hoping, Robyn, again, no pressure on you or anything. This is not on you. I don't want you to feel pressured to like rejuvenate my career and life, but we got 10 minutes to do this. So let's go.
We got this. All right. Just focus. Don't even think about the stakes. It's fine. My God, we are raising the stakes high because that's what comedy is. That's what we do.
Exactly.
No one wants to watch low stake Instagram live. Boring. 2 people talking.
Exactly. No.
This is life or death. If this doesn't go well, someone dies. Maybe not us. Maybe someone else.
Right. Exactly. Let's put it that way. It's like that game. It's like that thought experiment or whatever. It's like you can have $1 million right now, but someone in the world dies as soon as you accept it. You know what I mean? That kind of, would you take it or not? That's this situation for sure. Like if we don't stimulate my own creativity, I will die. That's what the stakes are here for sure. So it's not $1 million, unfortunately, because for sure I'm taking that money, right?
I know, that's what I was thinking. I would definitely take it unless I die or my husband, because I kind of like him. So that's the problem. Yeah, well,
because
could you die in that scenario? Could you get the $1 million, but also die at the same time?
Oh, that would be the sweetest irony of all. I don't think so. I think the point is an innocent dies, right? Like someone random, and you don't know them. But basically the question is, if you could snap your fingers and kill a random person in the world, would you do it? And, my fear is I would probably do it for a lot less than $1 million, actually, when all is said and done. I'd probably do, if someone was like, hey, I got this coupon for a free Big Mac. You want it? If you take it, someone will die. I'd have to think about it for sure.
Well, that's good to know that's where the bar is set in your life. Cool.
Oh yeah, the morality bar is quite low for sure.
Okay. I mean, it almost sometimes has to, I feel like we should preface this as we are comedians, making jokes. But again, this could be your actual viewpoint on life. So I don't want to put words in your mouth, but sometimes I feel like I need a disclaimer. I swear I think I'm funny. If this doesn't resonate, we're not trying to offend. Cool.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to offend, but if you're offended, it's
but if
your
it
own
happens
fault.
to offend, yeah,
exactly.
I can't help you. Yeah, that's
Can't
on
help
you.
it if you're offended, because this is pure gold right here.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's
I just
not...
came on because honestly, I needed a laugh, and I'm like, Connor could be funny. Maybe we'll chat with him.
Could be.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll
It was that one class. That was my favorite. The class was so bad that I was the only one that wanted to continue, and everyone else was like, it's not for me.
Thanks. Yeah, it was. It really was. And just for a little context, everybody, this was at the early days of the pandemic. We were trying to figure out, everyone was trying to figure out how to do improv over Zoom. I took over a level E class. It was great. Robyn was the third or fourth best person in it, of the 4 or 5 people who were there. And it was great. And, ever since then, I have, I've taught a little bit more on Zoom, but that was really demoralizing for me, for sure. When you and your fellow students basically were like, you've put me off improv forever, Connor. I'm never going to do it again. Oh. And I hate you, and you have ruined my life. So, it a bit of a claw, again, had to claw back out from that a little bit, had to climb out of that dark hole, but no, it's great. It's nice that you've kept at it and you weren't put off by that one class. Again, everyone was trying to figure out Zoom improv at the time.
You just really did a bad job at it. Honestly, that was on you.
And I figured it out worse than everybody else.
Yeah, I think, okay, so actually what was really funny, Carrie was one of the people that reached out to me because you were on it, and he liked the poster that you were going to do at Carrie Griffin at Second City. So he was actually I continued doing level E, and he was my level E instructor, and the whole class stayed in it. So Carrie figured it out, and he wanted to just bash you. He's doing another one with me in a couple weeks, and that might be what it is, how much better he is at teaching, which I think is interesting.
You know what? I'll say this. Carrie is a great teacher. He's been around for a long time, a lot longer than me. He's much older than me. He's much worse looking than me. He's got a lot going on, I'm sure. I don't know what it is. I don't know what he would say the meaning of his life is. I suppose it's probably teaching. And I guess I just have more going on than him. I guess I just have more reasons to live than Carrie Griffin, I think is what I'm saying here. And he's been an influence on my life for sure. He directed the first main stage show I did at Second City. He directed me in Tourco. And in spite of that, I still managed to succeed. So it's been a nice long relationship I've had with Carrie, and he's a very sweet man. And I wish him all the best for sure.
That was beautiful. I hope I'll tell him to watch this part. Just watch the first part.
Yeah.
Connor shares some love. Okay.
That son of a bitch, Carrie Griffin. What a guy. But actually, okay, joking aside, Carrie is great. He's a brilliant teacher and a brilliant director.
I'm pretty sure he would know you were joking.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah. Or are you? I don't know.
Or I've made yet another enemy today. It happens.
It's a lot. You're killing people. You're making enemies. I mean, Carrie's the nicest guy. How can you make an enemy? But
knowing Carrie's luck,
proves us wrong. Okay.
Knowing Carrie's luck, the $1 million I would take, it would kill Carrie. That's how it would go. And the sad thing is, if someone, imagine that scenario, but then afterwards they tell you who it is, right? You take $1 million, you're living on Easy Street, and the person comes back like, hey, remember that person who died? And you're like, yeah, some person I didn't know. Who cares? They're like, no, it was Carrie Griffin. I'd probably just go back to eating my gold-plated pizza or whatever I'd eat and just be like, oh, okay, that's too bad. Anyway, thanks. Is that all? Is that good? We're good? We're good here? Okay, thanks.
Wait, so the pizza is gold or the plate that it's on? Or is it all gold?
Good question. No, the pizza itself has gold flakes in the crust, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just imagining that's possible. I don't know if that's a thing, but if I...
You can put it on anything. In Vegas, you put on a hot dog. Gold everywhere.
I'm saying this as if $1 million is actually a lot of money. I mean, it is a lot of money, but like, as if I'm picturing myself having accepted this $1 million in like a mansion with like marble statues and stuff, eating this gold-plated pizza. Meanwhile, it's barely a down payment on a house. So it's really not.
It's true. The irony, there was that song when I was a kid, If I Had $1 Million.
Oh, yeah.
And as a child, you can do so much with it.
Yeah.
But as an adult right now, no one really cares.
Not much.
Can't even buy a house. Yeah.
Not much. No, for sure.
Oh,
Sorry,
that just
Carrie
got
Griffin.
sad and
Sorry,
real.
Carrie Griffin had to die, so I could barely afford a down payment on a house in Toronto. That's too bad.
Maybe Barry, like, make a little tree in his name in the front yard.
Sure, yeah, with a little plaque.
Yeah, but call it Carrie,
tree.
but spell it differently so it's only half creepy, right?
Yeah. Oh, spell his name wrong as just a final insult, for sure. Yeah, Kerrey or something like that. And people
silent Q. Silent Q is key.
For sure,
yeah. Mm-hmm. According to Grant Thompson, you are a legend. That's exciting.
Grant. Thanks, Grant. Thanks, buddy. Nice to hear from my fans. Grant Dodson is an old friend of mine. He lives in Stratford, theater capital of Canada. And he's a beautiful man. I'm glad you're tuning in, Grant. Shouldn't you be at work or something? I don't know.
One of my favorite things is sometimes I interview people and they have students in whatever field, and their students come on, they go, oh, just in class, but also on this live. And I go, awesome. I love that you're supporting your teacher, but I don't know if I would publicly write that. That's just...
Kids these days. I don't understand how people do it I'm so glad, like, I got out of school, like I graduated university of 2005, just before smartphones and, tablets and stuff like that. I can't imagine going through any school with all that technology. I feel like mostly maybe this is, shows you where kind of my brain is at these days or how mature I am. But it's more like I feel bad for the teachers, because how do the teachers feel? They're like, everyone's on their phone, because going to university or whatever, you got to take notes in class. I was physically writing notes, not anymore. People just taking pictures of the whatnot, of the board or whatever. I would feel teachers, professors, academics, or whatever would be, it's tough out there for them with all the technology. And I can't even imagine, like, if anyone right now is watching and you should be at work or school, shame on you. Okay? Honestly,
I appreciate the multitask. I almost respect it to an extent, because I'm a multitasker myself. And honestly, while we're in this live, I'm doing something else too. You don't even know.
Just doing like a crossword or whatever.
Yeah, just doing a Sudoku, coloring. There's a lot. Yeah,
painting. You got the model
staring out my window.
Just kind of painting them as we go. Yeah.
I'm actually sketching you. That's
oh, nice.
Yeah,
is that like the kind of gift you give all your guests, like a personalized sketch of them that you do?
So I wanted to say that because I was staring the other night. My husband and I decided to do a group activity of coloring a Pokemon book he got me as a joke. So nice. I was going to hold up the terrible looking Pokemon and say it was you, but
could have gone either way, depending on the Pokemon.
Could have.
You could have. I don't know anything about Pokemon whatsoever. You could have held up a Pokemon, even if it vaguely resembled me. You could have said, "This is the best Pokemon ever. It's the most powerful and handsome one," and I'd be like, "Yeah, then that works for sure."
Interesting. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get it. It's right there, but I'm going off of because I don't want to leave the viewers questioning.
Yeah, this is highly unprofessional. Wow.
It's just a lot of curiosity.
And the chair swing is the worst part, like the saddest part, where the chair just kind of rotates slowly. It's as if you,
At least I was wearing pants. There was I hate when people say that, and yet I felt the need to say that. Like, why would you not be wearing pants? I don't understand that. It's just not comfortable. Actually, don't tell me your thoughts on that. I don't want to know. But like, because you're probably not, and I don't want to know.
You could anticipate my answer to that. I am also wearing pants right now, very comfortable jeans, and I'm with you for sure. It is a bit odd. I understand certainly the impulse to be at home and you're comfortable, kind of, set up, whatever. As far as the world knows, this is all that exists of you, for sure. I get it. But at some point, it becomes just very sad, for sure. And I bet, I'm willing to admit that certain parts over the course of this pandemic, where I've been on Zooms, and I've been wearing like a nice shirt or whatever, but like I've been wearing my pajama pants or something like that. I confess to that, but I think there does come a point where you gotta find a little self-respect. I'll say this: I bet Carrie Griffin does not wear pants when he does these things. So let's just put it that way.
Okay, here's what I love. I don't know if you do this. I'm moving past the Carrie comment because this is entertaining. But when you're filming a self-tape, do you kind of just do your self-tape, but then when they ask for a full slate, put on the professional pants after? Or is that just me?
I usually put on the pants ahead of time.
Okay.
I will admit. Yeah.
Well, okay. Then
So maybe that's just you, Robyn.
I know at least 2 other people that do that because we had these discussions. But the other day it was really funny because I was filming whatever and I was changing and my husband's like, oh, okay, full body slate, not just torso up. Got it. Okay.
You get it. Put on the slate pants.
Professional pants. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Unless it specifies full body slate, I'd never do that anyway. Just like whatever the amount of effort I'm willing to put into these usually pretty minimal. Any casting directors out there, forget I said that. Actually, I put a lot of effort into all my self tapes. I respect your time and I appreciate.
This is what happens. But people like you, okay, you're just like, I'm gonna put it out there. Whatever happens, happens, and then you book. And me, that's like, oh my god, I'm trying so hard. I want it. Like I'm just gonna give you the best tape. There was times when I used to work so hard to a point where I honestly felt like what they were asking, it was a mini movie. And then I see how my friends are doing it. I'm like, oh my god, that's so much easier. Why don't I just so yeah, I've learned how to pretty much just showcase who I am with doing less. So
yeah, you got to find the right balance of effort and what your time is actually worth, for sure. Again, I'm not saying you should turn down auditions that require you to make a mini movie, but I am saying you need to find a way that makes the best.
I totally do that. I don't turn any audition down. Yeah, I just don't do it as movie quality as it used to be.
Well, and the other thing is, but truly, like, I don't think casting directors are judging your filmmaking ability. So, like, they're judging your ability.
I know, and that's the thing. But it's the filmmaker in me wants it to be a film. I'm like, oh, I like this. Like, I just start directing my own film when it's just an audition. They just want to know who you are and how do you sound and how do you look. And yeah, okay. Yeah, I should remember that going forward. Cool. That being said, there's a lot of movies that people have access to now.
Yeah, and
I
don't know what I'm talking about too. Like, don't listen to me.
I mean,
maybe.
Yeah, when was the last thing you booked? I like asking people that because if they asked me that, I would cry. But I like to throw that out there.
I did a day on a Hallmark movie last month, 2 months in January or something like that. So that was fun. That's the
What was it called? Can I ask? I love the names.
Sure, it's called Love and Ice Wine. At least that was the title they were going with at the time. I don't know if that's what it'll end up as, but Love and Ice Wine was what it was called. So I guess it's about the ice, specifically the ice wine business. I was just on for one scene. I was as a waiter, but it was a lot of fun.
Did you deliver said ice wine?
No, I wish. I wish. I always want to be, and I haven't had this yet. Even in those little day parts or whatever, it'd be nice to be the person who says the title of the project. That's because you're probably not getting cut at that point.
That's the thing, right? It's like, they said the lot. I always wait for that. That's like, who said it? Who's saying it?
Yeah,
I do. Yeah. I like to. Well, when you watch enough Hallmark movies, you're like, okay, I gotta make a game out of this. All right, let's look at the extras because some of them are awesome and entertaining, and honestly are in their own world. So I live for the extras. And then who's saying the title movie, and how bad are the leads compatible wise? Sometimes when you watch them have that one little Hallmark kiss at the end, it's kind of brother-sister dynamic, which is so funny.
Yeah, I think, as actors in Ontario, in Canada, we appreciate those movies because they shoot a million of them up here, and it's great work. But certainly there is a degree of what's the word I'm looking for? Repetition of some certain tropes that they tend to hit in each script. And yes, it is fun to kind of, you can, even watching them when they're done, you can go through and be like, oh yeah, this is the kind of formula for them for sure. But there's a reason for it. And it's because people love them at Christmas time. Oh my gosh. And maybe they're watching them for the reasons you watch them because, they are often kind of unintentionally funny. But I also think that most of them are pretty self-aware. Most of them know what they're going about for sure.
But you know what? Can I say? Yeah. I do think it is a skill, and there are times when I watch Lee and I'm like, you totally sold this for me to a point where it's like, it's not cheesy. It's just, this is who I am. And this is and I can actually name on one hand. Well, I don't actually remember the actors' names, but I could tell you because they were so good and compelling. And it's so weird because otherwise it gets redundant. But when they stand out to me, I'm like, oh, well done. Yeah. Well done, people.
Well, for sure. Those are the pros, like those are the people who, no matter the project, you got to commit to what you've been asked to do. So,
what was your waiter line? Did you have one?
What was it? What was the conceit? The scene was like, we were looking for, this just happened late at night. It shot late at night. So I vaguely remember the whole experience.
You were hopped up on the ice wine.
Like
That's
no
what
one
happened.
knows what they look like. That was it. It was we were looking for a food critic, trying to pick out a critic who had come to the restaurant. So the chef is like, who is it? And I'm like, I don't know. No one knows what this mysterious person looks like. That was kind of the line. That was the vibe.
As we're talking, I remember you told me you were in this one, and I remember watching it. Yes. So there we go.
What I should have said was, who's the food critic? I should have said, I don't know, but I hope they fall in love and ice wine. Kind of sneak in. I should have tried to sneak in the title, right? Because that's what I'm saying. You got to be the person who says the title. Otherwise, you risk, these small parts, there's a chance you'll get cut. But if you say the title, even no matter how awkward, right? Imagine if I was playing like a surgeon or something. That was one line. I'd be like, scalpel, please. Love and ice wine, please. And they'd be like, cut, Connor, you can't. No, let's take it back. You don't just say the scalpel part, please. Got it. Sorry. So scalpel. Yeah. Hey, anyone have any good love or ice wine this weekend? Cut. Sorry. Again, there's no reason to say that.
No, Connor, it has to be subtle. You have to go, okay, scalpel, please. All right. Oh man, this patient's had a lot of ice wine. You just got to throw it in, right? Versus you can't force it.
And then kind of glance to camera awkwardly, for sure. Yeah. Blow it.
Break the fourth wall.
Yeah, exactly. Terrible.
Oh,
anyway, that was the last thing I shot. It was about a month ago or so, and so that'll be out this Christmas. And here's the thing: I don't think it was specifically a Christmas film. I think it was just a Hallmark film that happens to be about ice wine. I could be wrong, because I was not sent the whole script. Or maybe I was, but I didn't read the whole script. I read my own.
Oh my God, Connor, can you imagine saying, as the waiter, the day player, I need the whole script so I can get fully into character.
I need the context of the whole film, please. Otherwise, I can't prepare properly. No, so I don't know. I look for it in the winter, but maybe not Christmas. I don't know. That's the mystery of it. That'll be the fun part for anyone watching who wants to find this film this year. You're just going to have to watch Hallmark every day from about October till March.
Wait, are you going to watch Hallmark every day for October to March?
No, because they'll tell me when it's on.
But you're not going to tell us. You're going to say, we have to watch them all?
No, you got to work for it, for sure.
Oh, that's a lot of effort. Okay. Yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe get a lead role and then I'll look. But right now, I'm like,
fair. Entirely fair. That will never happen. So enjoy waiting for that.
Excuse me. I see that this look like, I see a little like kind of lumberjack. Yeah. I'll never find love. I don't know. Love is garbage. My business is in trouble. If only some uptight girl could come in and show me the values of the city, and then we could work together and I would like her.
Wow. That's, you know what? Now you've really pumped my tires there. I appreciate that, Robyn. Thank you so much. So a sad sack lumberjack is what I could play, is what you're saying. You say that looking at me now kind of in this small frame. You have to understand that I could never play a lumberjack because I have zero upper body strength, and they would have to bring in like
it's
fake
Hallmark
axes that were
lumberjack.
made of plastic. They'd have to bring in those fake foam axes for me to hold, and I'd have to look like that, and people would be like, those are obviously foam, and like I'd just like be flinging them up in the air and looking real cool, but I could not play lumberjack because I am a weak, sad little person.
No, you're not hearing. This is what happens, okay? The axe is in the wood, and you hold on to said axe, and then, oh, hello, girl. I'm clearly busy chopping my wood.
Yeah.
Let me have some of my ale.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, am I a Viking too? I guess I'm just a Viking as well. Pass me that ale. Pass the grog, for sure.
Okay, it's in the rough stages. All right, we haven't fully.
Yeah, we're just hashing out the idea.
Oh, apparently, Volsky, you could also be a great wrestler, the sad sack lumberjack. Interesting.
Yeah, but that's...
A wrestler that no, you were a wrestler, a famous wrestler, and now you gave up on the biz, and you're wondering what do you do with your life. And this girl comes in, she wants to train little kids how to wrestle and defend themselves because they're getting bullied at school, and then I don't know, I guess I could help. Whatever, roll up my sleeves.
Robyn, I think you missed the part where I said I have zero upper body strength. Wrestlers
but
you
don't have to do anything. They never
bigger.
do anything. They don't actually get physical ever. There's no way.
You would look at this, people would look at me and immediately be like, I can't possibly believe this person was a wrestler because he literally looks like a stiff breeze would break his shoulder. Like, that's how much muscle he has in his upper body. Like, he is a sad, weak little person.
But that's the lovability of Hallmark. My brother suggested the name for the movie should be Down for the Count. I like that.
That is good.
It's
Down
not
for
bad.
The Count is a good, and yes, Kevin, thanks, Kevin. I would just run away for sure. Every scene, I just run out of the thing. People would come in, ask me for advice or whatever. Every scene, I just end up running away. They could just use the same shot of me, kind of. They just take one wide shot of me running off into the distance, kind of back, maybe into the woods. Maybe we're back on the lumberjack thing now. I don't know. But they just, every time it just cuts, it doesn't matter where it is. This scene is in a school, cuts to me running away into the woods. The scene takes place in a restaurant, doesn't matter, cuts to me running off screen and then into the woods. I think that's probably where we end up with this.
Go into the woods. Next thing you know, it's a musical. And they have Meryl Streep, Into the Woods, little Anna Kendrick, whatever. Who else was in that movie? Oh,
yeah,
Emily Blunt. She was great.
They did already make that. I don't think we could just remake that movie, but we could just take clips from that and splice it into our film, I suppose.
Yeah, this is what's happening. This is a great movie pitch. This is.
Well, this is, honestly, I feel like they make a lot of these kind of Hallmark movies every year, as you know. So I say add ours to the pile. You never know. Maybe someone will get around to making it.
Yeah. It's different. I've never seen a wrestling lumberjack. That's former wrestler lumberjack. I've never seen it. It hasn't been done. Maybe for a reason, but maybe no one's thought of it.
Maybe no one. Exactly. And I think a lot of these films are just kind of taking two, ideas like that and kind of mashing them together for sure. So in this, for example, this recent film was like, what if we took love and ice wine and put them together? And in our idea, it's what if we took wrestling, lumberjacks, possibly a bit of Vikings too, and put them all together? And what would happen? Again, I'm fine with it as long as they get me the light foam axes that aren't the real heavy axes, and I can just chuck them around and look very cool. Yeah. That's
true. We can incorporate your dog.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Hallmark loves a dog.
Yes, he would steal hearts. He'd steal the show for sure. I don't think he would be very obedient. You'd have to be very patient. Need a lot of takes with him for sure. You'd need a lot of takes, but he'd do his best for sure.
Would you ever put your dog on camera? Would you ever audition your dog kind of thing? You know when they have those pet casting calls? Have you ever submitted your dog?
I've never had him actually submitted, but I've used him in self-tapes or whatever. Both Ashley and I have for sure used him to, again, up the cute factor. And just like we were saying earlier, like they're not judging you on your filmmaking, but your acting talent. Again, I don't think they're judging us on the cuteness of the dog, but couldn't hurt. Couldn't hurt. If the role requires a dog or a pet to be held, or even if it's a completely pointless prop, it's good to have in there for sure. You never know.
I picture you auditioning for some kind of Avenger type serious role, and then trying to save the planet with a dog.
Just holding him.
Unnecessary.
Kind of putting his face towards the camera to be as cute as possible. Yeah, definitely. For sure.
I just saved him. It's not in the script, but it should be. Yeah.
And he's like scratching at me. He's like, he loves it. He's appreciative. He likes it. Yeah. But
yeah. That was good. It was good. Okay.
He might show up. I don't know where he is. He's around. I think he's downstairs. He spends most of his days just kind of snoozing.
Well,
on
honestly,
chairs and stuff,
look, I understand. It's a union dog. I'm not paying those kind of credits. I can't. I don't have the union money. Okay,
Fair.
It's a lot.
Yeah, no.
Although I say that, are you part of the union too?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, thank you for your getting the bill.
You'll be getting an invoice.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. I get it. That was bound to happen. Well, someone asked me that the other day. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just assume it's promotion, so you can do this stuff.
Oh yes, no, that's fine. It really is. This is not.
I'm getting an actor credit for doing this. So.
Do you? Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. You should well.
Can you imagine how cool that would be? Just I started a podcast because I want to be part of the union. So
you host your own show. You host your own show. I don't see why that wouldn't count. I don't know the ins and outs of union membership rules, but I say hosting your own podcast or interview show on Instagram Live for sure should get you at least an apprentice credit. I don't know.
I appreciate that. And actually, I call it a podcast. You call it an interview show. I have no idea what to call it, but podcast sounded so hipster that I just started calling it that a couple shows in. It just seemed like, oh yeah, I have a podcast because why not?
But it's a step higher than a podcast because it's like a video podcast, right?
True.
Do you record this too and put it up on like iTunes?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to be everywhere. You're going to be on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
Huge day.
And staying on IGTV for the people that can't catch it now. You can watch it anytime. Winter Chats with Robyn.
Wow. Okay, well in that case, actually, I feel like I should send you an invoice. Probably, I'll have my agent get in touch, and that's a lot. That's a lot of use of my face.
It is.
So yeah.
I mean, maybe. But you don't really look like you're. I mean, actually, you look similar. I was nervous when people say I don't look like my headshot anymore, and you're one of the few people who have told me that. I still know who you are. But when people don't warn me, and I'm like, oh, who are you? Hello.
Fair. Yeah. No, I get that. And those are relatively new headshots from just before the pandemic, and since then, no, I mean, I would get a haircut if I could. Where am I going to go? You can't go get a haircut. So, and I'm not going to let my wife anywhere near me with scissors or clippers. I get that. Because that's asking for.
I don't want. I think that's just question. Look, my husband. I've never seen him with this much of a fro. But honestly, I don't think the marriage is worth the haircut. I don't think so.
It is a risk for sure. It's a again. It goes back to it's like the $1 million debt thing. It's like, you can get a haircut, but it might end your marriage. Those are the two. Those are the options. It's like, I
mean, it's like I have a permanent reader, but he has a lot of hair. So what's worth the
Exactly. You got to again. It's a matter of choosing your priorities and placing value on the things that really matter to you. To me, I don't mind having long hair and keeping the kind of home relatively strife-free. So that's the choice I've made.
That's fair. I think that's an intelligent choice. I respect that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like your blue background, by the way. Is that painted or is that a backdrop?
Oh, it is a backdrop that I have taped on. If you can see, I've nailed and taped into the wall. So it's really fun when I get the request for a full body slate, because then the illusion is ruined. Yeah. It's just I didn't get a wide enough sheet, because how much wall am I supposed to have downtown?
I hear you.
Yes,
sure.
This is the color.
That's nice. Do you ever put in key and stuff behind you? Like afterwards, like with the blue screen, do you put in like, oh, I could be in a tropical setting or whatever? Do you ever
that was the old film quality self-tapes that no one was appreciating. So honestly, I did that once as a joke, and that was kind of a competition versus an actual self-tape. But no, I have yet to do that for a self-tape. But here's the problem. I own so much blue to a point where I'm struggling like this. I found this shirt the other day, and if this was an in-person audition, I couldn't wear it. Oh, also, according to Stepher Stretch, it is nice to see you, Dog.
Very nice. Thank you, Steph. Nice to read your voice.
I know, it's odd. I know, I want to say hi to everyone, but and then there's also a delay in the response on Instagram Live.
Oh.
That's like weird.
Okay, tricky.
But maybe
look at you. All these wonderful people are. I don't know how many people you can. We have right now. I assume thousands. Don't tell me how many people are watching. I'm going to assume thousands.
Oh my God, millions.
Millions. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm glad for sure. Steph, it's we should hang out soon, Steph. Let's make it happen. Once the lockdown lifts, I'll come visit. We'll come hang out in Kitchen.
He might do an IG Live with you too. Pretty popular.
Yeah, maybe.
This is the only way to communicate. But see, I like to, here's the thing. Here's what I put on my guests. I realized I had another story and then I got off track. I'll get back to it. But here's what I put on my guests is I think our stories are going to be so interesting that I want to record them and share them with the world. Yeah. But I also think I would watch this. And I was watching so many interviews because I find people so fascinating. And there's always those stories that no one really says in an interview. And you're like, we should talk about the randomness, right? Those random stories that you're like, yeah, you taught someone for one class and it was so bad that they shut down that class. Interesting. Let's talk.
That's, yeah. Oh, the stories that humiliate me are the best ones for sure.
Great.
That's what we should be talking about. More of that. No, but you're right. And that's what a good interviewer does, Robyn, right? I'm sure you have done many of these, and I'm no doubt every time you draw out the best and most insightful and vulnerable moments from your guests. That's what I'm, that's why.
Thank you for being vulnerable and for sharing your fears of being a lead in a Hallmark movie. I just
couldn't cut it. I couldn't hack it.
Ooh. But I think, you know what? Here's what's going to happen. You're going to age. Okay? It happens. Okay. Inevitably, we get older. And you're going to be that kind of lovable kook in that older, when they hit an age and like, who do we cast to be an older Hallmark lovable couple? You're like, little crazy Connor.
Yep. I'll be the grandpa.
I am the grandpa. Yeah.
Or I would happily play, it's not a Hallmark movie, but like the Home Alone. I'd love to be the old scary guy in Home Alone. Like that's the best part of that movie.
Well, you can't because he had a shovel and that's upper body strength.
Oh my God, you're right.
You can't invoke that fear.
Bring in the foam shovel. This guy can't physically lift the shovel. Everyone else is fine. Everyone else is lifting it. They're like, what is with this guy? He can't lift it? I'm like, bring me the foam shovel, please. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But at that point, you'll be so established, they'll do anything, right? And be like, oh,
for sure.
Of course. Foam shovel? Yeah. Yes. Would you like us to?
Bring in the foam shovel, yeah.
Yes, red M&Ms and foam shovel, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in my rider, it'll be, I refuse to lift anything over 2 pounds. Anything other that needs to be foam, please. If it's going to weigh more than that. The physio in me is genuinely concerned for your health. Your dog must weigh more than 2 pounds. There's no way you have that little upper body strength. I'm terrified. All right. I might be exaggerating slightly for effect. I can lift the dog and have to lift him many times a day. But,
this hyperbole, there's no place for this here, sir.
I think you're right. Sorry, for sure. My mistake for heightening and exaggerating for effect.
Thank you.
So if it comes to it, once or twice a day, I could be asked to lift something more than 2, 3, 4 pounds. But on a movie set, you got to do a lot of takes, a lot of reps. So let's just have the foam shovel there as a backup, just in case. That's all I'm asking, as a backup. Can we do that?
I will talk to your agent and we will figure this out.
Thank you
for the future Hallmark movie that I'm writing for you. Apparently,
can't wait.
With a dog, I really set the bar high. There's a lot of stuff going on. Wait, aren't you a writer? Didn't you write a story that won something? Like, didn't I read something that you wrote that was disturbing?
Did something somewhere? I don't know. Didn't you do a thing? Tell them about the thing you did that did something.
You're good at interview skills. This is research.
Yeah, that's right. You're really in depth here. I heard you did something once. Tell me about that. I haven't really. No, I've not won anything per se. I do write stories as well. I write fiction. And last summer I came like 5th in a contest. That's about it.
That's okay.
It was out of a lot of people.
It was out of 5. Okay, got it.
Yeah, top 5. That's it. But it was nice. It's the first time I've ever done anything like that. So, but thank you for bringing that up. My 5th place finish in a writing contest. So I am obviously a highly successful at everything I undertake.
Obviously.
Yes.
I wanted to do another shout out. I think I see Lisa Merchant that just joined, and she was also another one of my Second City instructors, and her class continued online as well. So Connor, all these other teachers that figured out the magic of online teaching.
Yeah. Well, Lisa would figure it out. Lisa's great. She was one of my teachers as well. Going back way back into the day, into the myths of time. And Lisa, I would never say anything bad about Lisa. Kerry Griffin, yes, I'd say lots of bad things about him, but Lisa's great. So yes, she of course would figure out how to teach improv over Zoom online, and no one would leave her class. Again, unlike, as you keep bringing up, unlike the class that we had briefly.
It was, hey, impactful. I'm saying it was impactful enough. I'm like, this guy's funny. He gets my humor. Let's chat. So
yeah,
there you go.
For sure, exactly. If nothing else, we that one, brief 2.5, 3 hours or so of awkward online improv teaching led to this very productive conversation.
It's magical. It's a magical conversation.
Magical
Were you a high school valedictorian, or is that a joke?
No, I was my high school valedictorian.
Whoa!
That was my biographer, actually.
Where are they now? This isn't anyone from your high school. What happened to Connor, the valedictorian?
Steph didn't go to my high school. Look, it's a long story. Steph's an old friend. We worked together at camp. She's married to one of my bestest old friends. And I was valedictorian at my high school, which Steph didn't go to, but
But you're famous enough that people know. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Valedictorian is on an Instagram live right now. Guys, everyone come. Everyone watch.
Yeah. My speech was brilliant too. Very, very good. So much so that this is actually true. A couple of years ago, I was asked to come and do the speech, like the commencement speech at my high school. Like someone reached out, was like, "Oh, I hear you've done Second City, and you're an actor, do comedy, stuff like that. Do you want to come and give like the graduation speech?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I do." And it was fun. It was weird, but it was very entertaining. And some of the teachers, this is gonna sound weird, but some of the teachers were still there from when I was there. They came up and they're like, "Your valedictorian speech was really fun. We can't wait to hear what your speech tonight. We're really looking forward to it." Again, this sounds like I'm bragging. I'm not, because it's kind of embarrassing, because I did my speech and I had a good time and it was fine. And then afterwards, the teachers came and were like, "Yeah, that was good. It's nice. Thanks for coming." Because clearly not, as they were expecting more or something. I'd let them down. They're like, "That's nice to see you. Bye. Thank you."
No, rookie move. You got to set the bar low. So anything you do after that, right? That's why I intentionally audition terribly. Because when it's a good audition, like, "Oh, wow, she can act.
She's
interesting."
Improved.
Yeah, right? You got to set really low.
The other thing,
because if you bombed your valedictorian speech in high school, you'd be like, "Whoa, Connor learned to speak. Look at him. He's growing up so fast." And then tears. Everyone's crying. Like, I didn't think anything would come of him. And,
You're absolutely right. You're totally right. The approach to that should be to lower expectations first. And then, set the bar so low
in high school.
You just soar over it when the time comes.
Your speech totally peaked in high school. That's so sad. This is a live. Oh, I'm sorry, God.
I definitely peaked in high school for sure. It's been downhill ever since.
I think you're doing okay.
Look, oh my gosh, it's right there. I can almost grab it. But I got a free. My high school, for doing this, gave me a little gift bag, or whatever, including
you should grab it.
Very comfortable hoodie. Here, I'll grab it. Hold on one sec. It's right here. Yeah.
We do a lot of movement. Remember the pictures I grabbed that I never shared? Yeah.
Here we go. Look at this. This is a nice sweater I got from my high school. Oh, come here. Okay, come on. There we go. Look at that. Yeah.
Oh.
John Diefenbaker Secondary School. And senior school is what it's called now. It's called secondary school. And I was there. We're called the Trojans. Can you see that? It's backwards, isn't it? Is it backwards?
It is, but I did see the Trojan
Get the
character.
Mirror out. Get your mirrors out, everybody, and hold it in front and reflect it back so you can see, you can read it. But so I got a free sweater out of it. So it wasn't a total loss, Robyn. It was a
nice purple
day. Thank you. Yes, purple and white.
Plus, anything with a Trojan on it is comedy gold, right? I mean,
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Immaturity.
And that school is gone now. A little more history for you. I think it's been knocked over and a new one has been built. So it doesn't even exist anymore.
That happened to mine too. I feel it's so weird when everything from your childhood is demolished and you go, "But I used to do stuff there." Oh well. Although mine was kind of decrepit to begin with, so it's probably for the better.
Ours was pretty old. Yes, I mean one of those classic kind of old small town high schools that probably had all sorts of asbestos and mold and that stuff in the walls. So it was definitely high time for it to go, for sure. But I was glad to go back and see it one more time and, you know, cement my legacy as a mediocre speaker, for sure.
But I love how you're saying that, because I can, you know, when you try your best, but you know when it didn't resonate with people the way you wanted it to, and it's that awkward, they come up to you because they feel they have to, you know, like, good job, but you know it's not a good job, and you know they didn't like it, and you just, that feeling is so, that's the descriptor is,
Yeah. It was fun. It was a lovely time. I had a good time. The other thing that was very funny was that happened was the teacher who reached out to me was one of these teachers that I got along really well with and was kind of friendly with afterwards a little bit. So she was like, tell me what you've been up to. It's been like, gosh, it's been almost 20 years. It'd been like 16, 17 years. So I wrote her this kind of email back saying, oh, I did this and I did this and I did this. Like, this is what my life has been. And then, like, on the day, they basically used that email word for word as like my bio or my intro at the speech. The guy who introduced me was like, so Connor did this. And I was like, oh my God, no, don't tell them everything. Don't tell them all that. They don't need to know about these things.
Oh, that's so sad. At least you can go back to the Second City building, which is demolished.
Oh God. Yeah, you're right, Pat. It's, yep, that boy, nothing lasts, right? Nothing.
Did you do a farewell to the Second City? Did you go in, get your free stuff? Okay.
No, I didn't.
Either. Okay.
I don't remember the last time I was in that building would have been just kind of for the holiday show, the last holiday show that I directed with the tour co. And but I would, if I had known it was my last time there, obviously I would have stolen something for sure.
Obviously.
But did not get a chance to go see it. But that's okay. I'm not actually too. I know obviously I have wonderful memories from there and I cherish all my time there. But I don't feel terribly, you know, I'm not a type that gets super nostalgic about stuff like that. So that's fine. You know, I got lots of stuff to remember my time at Second City for sure. So that's okay. I'm all right with that.
Well, I remember the people in my conservatory class were getting mugs and random water bottles. And I thought it just seemed like way too far away for me to go and get a water bottle. So I was okay. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
And it was also, they were only going in one or two at a time, at least for the people in my class. I'm like, oh, but I don't know. But I'm glad they got what they wanted to out of it. But yeah, I mean, they'll build it again and the community will come. You know, if you build it, they will come.
New
so
memories.
It'll be the same thing. Yeah.
A new place for memories and a new generation of comedians and people to go and make their own, make their own memories there.
Did you ever teach? There was one classroom I was in. It wasn't by a window and there was very little ventilation and I can't remember the number. Have you ever taught in that really small, awkward, no ventilation class?
Yes, I think so. I think that was maybe Studio 4. I don't know. The old training center. Did you ever take classes at the old training center before they moved above?
I was only at the Mercer Street one.
Okay, nice. Well,
yeah, this is before my time. Okay.
Nice. That's okay. You know what? I always, and there's nothing wrong with those studios. They were great. Yes, some of them were extra hot, and some of them were extra cold. It's
hot. I like to move when I improv. I'm like, oh, the schwitz is real. I got very Yiddish.
What we're hoping for this wherever the new school ends up, is just balanced temperature, right? That's what we're saying. We just want a uniform temperature across all the studios, please. For the students' sake, yes, because you don't want to get too sweaty. You don't want to be freezing cold. You want a nice, improvisers were very particular. We need it to be specific, like 19 degrees. Exactly. No more, no less. Is that too much?
You're very serious. Is it actually 19? Is that the optimal improvising temperature? That was very convincing.
I think it is now. It has to be.
19 degrees.
I'm going to say yes, specifically 19 degrees, because once you get up into the 20s, it gets too hot. A little lower than that, though, and it becomes like a brisk kind of spring day. You don't want that. You want something comfortable. You're not going to sweat too much, but you're also not going to be like, ooh, need to cover up. So I think, let's say the perfect temperature to improvise at is 19 degrees.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
I see you being the temperature monitor, going into every room, who touch the thermostat kind of person.
Yes, for sure. That'll be my job. I won't be allowed to teach, obviously, because of my disastrous class with you.
Oh, terrible feedback.
So I'll be the guy, the temperature inspector. I've got the clipboard, the hard hat, kind of the reflective vest, and I'll go in, make sure, take a note, kind of hold up a little bit of this, kind of that. Just
you got to pick up the carpet. Yeah, you just gotta try and like throw stuff up in the air. Where does the air flow?
Yes, exactly. Go kind of hold my hand near the vent. Yeah, take air samples for sure. I'll have a little lab set up in the in the space. I'd love to fulfill that role. That'd be a great job. Air quality.
I'm glad that you knew that you needed the reflective vest. That was essential too.
Safety first. Safety first, for sure.
People wouldn't normally see you, so it's good that you have the reflective vest on in the classroom where people are. That's great.
Exactly. So people would know. And I'll bring little, like, the pylons too. I'd set up pylons around the thermostat when I'm standing in it, so people would know not to park there. There's lots. Yeah, again.
Not to park. I oddly see you. I see all the thermostats being hooked up to one room, and that is your room. And you just have this. You have this giant computer system in front of you. You're sitting there, and you're petting. It's a cat. You can't pet the dog. It's weird. And you're petting this cat, all menacing, like, I'm going to make it 18 degrees. Excellent.
Oh, for sure. And I have monitors of all the studios for sure.
To see how they react, right? You do a little science experiment.
Exactly. Let's see how they look
a little too comfortable.
Like this. Yeah, exactly, for sure. Or I see, like, I see a student go up and like adjust the thermostat, and I'm like code red, and then like people like rappel through the window and like smash through Navy SEAL style to kind of get in. I have a team of commandos at my disposal for sure. Obviously, to kind of go in.
But you have to make sure you properly vet them. So there's a whole training process for that.
Yeah, obviously they need to, first of all, be able to know what temperature a room is just by walking into it. For sure. Just
exactly. Not even exactly. They can't see the number. They have to feel it. It's in their bones. Exactly.
It's like people with perfect pitch, right? They can just snap off a B flat without even thinking about it. Same thing, same skill. They need to innately be able to know what temperature a room is. Obviously, hand-to-hand combat, important, for sure, for taking down students who get who go near the thermostat. And other than that, though, I just kind of a love for the work, I think.
The passion, yeah.
Passion.
You need the passion.
Most jobs are 90% passion, right? That's, work is work doesn't feel like work if you love what you're doing. So
plus they have to be willing to work for free, because there's no way they're getting paid.
That's also true. Yeah, no, they don't. It's volunteer. It's an internship.
It is 100% volunteer. Yeah, it's a passion project. Sure. It's a.
Oh, that'd be a good job. I would take that for sure. Yeah.
Some people like to teach. You like to control the temperature.
Those who can't teach are in charge of the thermostats.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to quote you on that one for something I promote.
Please.
Very funny.
Yeah, anytime. Use that as a quote. Put my poster up, my headshot, and say, those who can't teach are in charge of the thermostats. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to insult people that are actually in charge of a thermostat, but yes, there is something very funny.
Yeah, you know what? If we haven't offended anyone yet, that's great. I'm okay with offending whoever's in charge of thermostats. I assume maybe not though. I assume that's like the janitorial staff, maybe the maintenance staff, and those are hard workers. I'm not here to tear them down for sure. But
you know what? I almost think that you'd be taking an annoying job away from them. No one cares about the thermostat except for the people in the classroom, right? So yeah, I think you'd be doing them a favor.
I think you're right. I think I'm just they can get to the more important work of changing out the garbage bags, cleaning the bathrooms, whatever.
It's insane how much garbage that we go through as a species. That's just a sidebar comment. Looking the other day, because I just see all these, I'm like, how? But then I see my garbage, I'm like, how? Why? This is fascinating. That's just another tangent. Okay.
Robyn, we just throw it in the ocean. It's fine. It just goes in the ocean. Like, what's the big deal?
I don't understand. You're right. Yeah,
The
that's what
ocean
it's there
takes care of
for.
it, right?
Yeah, they figured it out.
It just breaks down in the ocean. I don't know the
100%.
science behind it, but as far as I'm concerned, we can just throw all our plastic in the ocean and it'll be fine. Yeah. No, you're right.
Why was I worried? It's so weird. Okay.
It's horrifying for sure. It's like just knowing the amount of waste that like our household, and in our house, my house here, there's like 3 different apartments. So we have one of the bigger garbage bins, you know what I mean, outside. But still, we fill that sucker up every time. I don't know how. And we try to recycle as much as we can. And we're getting a worm farm. Very excited about that. You know what a worm farm is?
I just assume it's worms. Oh, wait. Does
Correct.
it eat your compost?
Yes, it does. You get worms. This is great, people. You got to do this. Haven't got it yet. Excited. Going to build it myself. You get a couple bins. You drill holes in one bin. You get the 2 bins that kind of fit into each other, right? You get 2 of the same bin that stack.
Okay.
And then you put your garbage, your compost, your food waste is what you put in there. No meat, no oil, no eggs, but like vegetable and fruit waste you put in there. Your tea bags or coffee grounds, and you get some worms. And the worms eat it, and then they poo. And the worm poo is like the best fertilizer you'll ever see. It's like they literally call it black gold in the gardening community. So get yourself a worm farm. You'll get rid of your compost fast, and your plants, your house plants, your outdoor plants will thank you for it. So I'm very excited to go get my worms. I can't wait to have worms.
I have so many thoughts.
And they're so easy. Robyn, they're so easy. You build yourself for $30.
Okay, here, you say that, but I am so clumsy that day 1, the worms would be all over the ground. And then I just have this gold, whatever you called it, everywhere. And then I have to keep getting more worms. And then there's also compost everywhere because they haven't fully digested the food. It's not going to work for me.
You're forgetting the important step of getting a bin for them to be in. I think you missed that.
I will still, somehow it will end up on the ground. I guarantee. I don't know how. That is a skill in and of itself, but you were very passionate, so I don't want to discourage this project. I actually think it really is a decent idea. Just to me, I have a couple questions. So you put the compost in, and then you cover it so you can't smell it, and the worms digest accordingly, or what's the smell situation?
I think the idea is you cover the bin. Obviously, you put holes in the lid, but the worms like it dark, right? So you put them in the bin. You put newspaper in it to give them like the sensation of earth. You shred it. You wet it down. I think if you left it in the middle of your living room floor, you might smell it. But like tuck it away under your sink, or even keep it out in the summer. You keep it out in the shed or the garage, or maybe on your balcony if you're in a condo or whatever.
I have none of those things. Thank you for pointing that out.
That's a different discussion about the housing situation in our city. But there may be a smell. You may end up with a smell, but it would not be bad. It's not a lot, right? They don't produce like
Wait, how many worms do you need? 7?
You get like a pound. You get like a pound of worms, and a pound of worms can go through like a pound of food in a couple days. They go.
And then so that is their life. The worms. Yeah. Their life is to just keep eating your stuff, excreting accordingly.
What do you think worms do in nature, Robyn? What do you think they're up to down there?
I have not. I apologize to the worm community. I have given it very little thought, except the other day, I saw a bird eating a worm, physically pulling it from the ground.
Cool.
It was terrifying. That bird was aggressive, but it was also a robin bird. So I'm kind of like, way to go, fellow Robyn. It was an odd sense of pride, but confusion. It was weird.
I don't think the worms are suffering in their worm farm. I think they're loving it. Like every couple days, every day, some faceless god drops in a pound of food for them to eat.
Of course, you're a faceless god. What else would you be?
Yeah, obviously. So I'm a benevolent god to them. I put their food in the thing. They go eat it, and like a day later, another pound of food shows up. It's like they're living the best life. All they're doing now is eating poop.
Ooh. What if the worms have an eating disorder? Backfires.
I mean, there's only so much I can do to take care of these worms. So, like, hopefully one of them is a therapist or has some insight into worm mental health and can get them, can convene some sort of therapy session for them. But honestly, if they're not eating, if they're not eating what I'm putting down there, it's probably my fault. I'm putting on the wrong food. It's up to me to find the right food. So, but
okay.
I would hope that I would hope that the worms would just appreciate what's been given them and just go to town.
I mean, I hope so too. Do they eat the apple core, the seeds?
I think they eat, yeah. I don't know. I think they eat whatever they want. I don't know how much they fully consume. I think they just eat it all.
It just sounds like you haven't fully researched this because you're not answering all my questions.
The one thing,
as per usual, I am disappointed and I'm just unimpressed.
Unbelievable. You know what? Get Kerry Griffin in here. He'll tell you all about worms, I'm sure. You can ask him all about worms.
I'm okay to never have a worm discussion on my Instagram Live again. I'm very okay with that. This has been, you were saying it, you were excited, and then I kept asking questions. That's on me. But I'm intrigued and grossed out at the same time. It's a very weird feeling I have right now.
What's great too is you collect the worm poo, which is
good.
Great
We're still talking about worms. Great.
Yeah, but also, this is great. Keep drinking while I say this. You collect their pee as well, because it drains. The reason you have two is you drill holes in one and put a brick in the other one, so it sits up, this high out of one container, sits up out of the other, so it drains through. And in the bottom container collects the liquid that they give off, which itself is also not just the physical kind of dark, deep kind of black fertilizer, but their pee as well is very good for, you kind of spritz that onto your plants or whatever. It's very good fertilizer. So just douse all your plants in worm, pee, and poo, and life is good. I'm telling you. And you mock now, but
no, I'm not. I'm smiling because I'm rewriting your Hallmark movie to be a worm farmer.
Yes, great. Okay,
that's all. I'm hearing this, and I'm hearing your passion and your knowledge. I'm like, this is what it needs. We're going to have an environmentally friendly Connor. Find someone that hates the environment, and they're going to somehow make it work. That's what it needed. Oof. Nice. That's why we kept having the discussions.
We figured it out.
That was helpful.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? Go ahead.
No, I'm just addressing one of the questions. We're talking about worm farms and how very good they are for your gardens, and the compost they create are is the best compost you could possibly have. So everyone out there, get yourself a worm farm. It doesn't have to be big. You can get a little shoebox size one. They don't have to be big. And put a few worms in there. You'll thank me. Your garden will thank me for sure.
Window Chats with Robyn is not held liable for any poorly performed worm farms.
Yeah,
this is on Connor.
Yeah, if your worms don't do what you want them to do, it is Window Chats with Robyn's fault. Just contact Robyn and she'll take the full blame.
All right. Well, that was great. Thank you. You know what's amazing? I brought you on because I legitimately was fascinated by your bio, and I don't even know what we started talking about. I don't even know how we got here. But it's been over an hour, and I did want to talk about your Second City experience.
Sure.
In a positive way, if that's okay. I just don't know what your day is. Okay. I did want to talk about why you bring value to the world other than your worm compost compassion and your valedictorian days, but let's move on from there. But I was intrigued because so many people, you've directed so many shows at Second City. At least it sounded to me like more than one, so that's a lot.
Well, at Second City, I wrote and performed in 3 main stage shows, and then after that, I directed the touring company for a little bit. So
wait, why did you switch from performing to directing?
Well, that's kind of the route you often go there. So you kind of come up as a performer, and then once not everybody goes on to direct. A lot of people, it's not for everyone, but I was always interested in that. So after I finished my time as a performer there, I taught for a little while at the school, and eventually, when the touring company was looking for a new director, I expressed interest and was chosen to do that. So it was great, and getting to work, I was fortunate to work with a bunch of great casts and great people. Had a wonderful time. And the fun thing about the touring company is the show is turning over constantly. And it's, with the main stage show, the director comes in, you put the show together, and then the show runs, and their job is done. With the touring company, the directing job is never really finished. You're always looking for new scenes for them to do. You're always honing the scenes that you have. and putting the new show, kind of upcoming show together. So once you finish the holiday show, you're on to working on the Valentine's Day show. And once the Valentine's Day show is over, you start working on the spring, summer show. It's great. So it was a really wonderful experience. Learned a lot, worked with a lot of great people, for sure.
That was a very professional response. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, wait.
Were you expecting me to be like, I just went in and brought worms and blah, blah, blah?
I don't know what I was expecting. I'm like, oh, yes.
I'm very serious all the time. Come on. I care about my craft.
So, yes, it's all about the craft. Of course, of course. Actual question, because I'm always curious about this, as opposed to my other ones that weren't actual questions. But I like to call myself out on weird things that I say. But how was the audition process to get onto main stage?
The Second City audition process is not easy. It's an improv audition, obviously. So
do you remember your specific what you did?
100%. 100%
okay.
I do. I auditioned 3 times before I got anywhere at Second City, and
3 times the charm.
Third time was the charm, and I think, I don't know, I would be curious to know, you can ask other alums this, however many times they audition, but I think that's about average. I know, actually, my wife actually auditioned once before she got hired to do stuff, so she's better than me, obviously. So you audition, and then it's a group audition with a bunch of other people, and it's tough because, first of all, as improvisers, we're always taught, of course, that the best improvisers make other people look good. So on the audition, you want to make yourself look good by making others look good, but you also want to make sure you're showing them what you can do and your strengths. So you have to balance that. And it does kind of, it doesn't make or break on who you're paired up with or who you're improvising with, because I've sat in on, auditions and kind of watched auditions, and, you can tell when someone has been held back by their scene partner or deserves another chance, that sort of thing, to be seen. So it's hard and it's stressful, and you get one shot basically to come in and do this. And then there's a round of callbacks, and the callbacks are even kind of more strenuous because you do some more improv, but you're also asked to very quickly prepare a scene, an archive scene. You're kind of given a script and you work on it. You're not expected to be off book or anything like that, but you work on the scene and then you put it up in the audition over the course of 45 minutes or whatever. So it's not easy at all. It's a fairly intensive process, but it's great and rewarding and fun. And I remember the scene that I did in my callback was, what's it called? Oh no, I forget the actual title of it. It's with Lauren Ashton on it. It's with, maybe if Jan is still there. Jan, do you remember the title of this scene? With Anand plays the doctor and Lauren is the patient coming in to get pills. It might be called Pills or Doctor, or I forget. Anyway, it's a great scene. Basically about medicine, and she doesn't want to take modern medicine, and he makes fun of her for being a hippie and that sort of thing. So it's a classic archive scene with Lauren Ash and Anand Rajam, and it went well. My scene partner and I knocked it out of the park, except now I can't remember who my scene partner was, and that's bad, but that's okay.
No, I'm smiling too, because as you're saying that's what the archive sketch was, or scene was, I'm fairly certain I wrote something like that in con. I thought, I love how the ideas are always there and everyone has that.
Dr. Pills.
Oh, it's called Dr. Pills. That's funny. Oh, that's a funny name.
Look, like the one thing you learn at Second City is, and in sketch writing is, to a degree, there are no new ideas, or at least there are ideas that we return to. There are setups and tropes and relationships and scenarios we return to, and it's just a matter of finding your unique take on that. So even if a scene resonates with you, and that's a note we get all the time at Second City writing these shows, is like, is this a little too much like this scene? Maybe. On one hand, who cares? Because often the case is like, that scene was 10 years ago. Who cares? Like, no one. It's fine. Do the scene. But also, it's just a matter of finding your own POV on it, your own kind of tilt to the idea, and then you're off and running. So don't worry, Robyn. Pursue that idea. Pursue it.
Okay, I was like, oh no, I stole an idea, but no, I think it probably probably better. It was probably better. That's what happened.
Oh, yes, for sure, yeah.
There was a worm in it, so yeah.
Oh, then I like it better already.
Yeah, it was edible worms instead of pills. That's how you.
Great,
it's
great
actually the worms degrade all the garbage in your body, and
already,
it's
for sure.
the new
Nice.
green tea caffeine pill. Yeah, your body is where the worm lives.
Genius.
God, I hate this sketch already. I'm gonna stop with that one. This is why pitching a sketch is a nightmare to me, because in my head I'm like, I just write it. Like I have to write it out and see it. So how do you pitch something? Have you mastered the art of the pitch?
It's tricky. I don't know if I've mastered it, but you have to be able to distill your idea down into a sentence or two that gets the basically the platform and the tilt into the world. So that can be tricky. But a good way to practice is on movies and TV shows that you know and like, and just trying to write what's the premise in 2 sentences of Star Wars, or of, I don't know, whatever, Avengers or Bridgerton or whatever, or the Queen's Gambit. The other cool shows that I don't know the shows the kids are watching these days.
Everyone's watching the Queen's Gambit. All the cool kids. Yeah, actually, it was really good.
Haven't seen it yet. Got to get to it. No spoilers. She plays chess. It is hard, Robyn, for sure. It's not an easy thing, and even into touring company and even on main stage, people sometimes have trouble distilling their ideas down so it's clear to the director and your castmates what you envision the scene to be. So
did you ever write? Is there one that you were super? Because you said you wrote shows. Is there certain sketches that always resonate with you? You're like, oh, this one will stand the test of time. It is just so good, and I'm brilliant. Or is that kind of just all your work? You're just brilliant.
I have a few that I remember, and I just want to mention that there's a cameo happening here. Finally, there he is. Yeah, you did it. Okay.
Now this chat is cute.
There we go. Now it's finally worth it. Everyone's going to tune in for this. Oh, yeah, big yawn. Okay. So I have a few of my favorites that I did. I think maybe the sketch that I am most proud of, or one of them anyway, was a sketch called Etobicoke in my second show that was about Rob Ford, without ever mentioning Rob Ford, which was a fun scene that I did with my castmate Craig Brown. And it was about a guy. The premise was,
it's hard. Okay.
Distill it down into a thing. A resident of Etobicoke threatens to re-elect Rob Ford if his friend doesn't move to the suburbs with him. That's basically the premise of the scene. So, but it was played out kind of in a horror thriller genre, where the twist was we were friends off the top, but then I threatened him to that we in Etobicoke would re-elect Rob Ford if our demands weren't met, basically. And it was a very fun scene, and it was the first scene out of the gate in the show. It got our satire out of the way early, and it was a very fun scene. It was a fun scene too because it was very of the moment. So it's a scene that hasn't really, lived on much in touring company or in other places because, Rob Ford isn't mayor anymore and he's actually dead. You might be able to adapt it for Doug Ford, I suppose, but the idea that it was kind of very of the moment was appealing too, and kind of could only exist at that point in time.
That is, also opening the show, that's a lot of pressure. That opening, I either like the show or hate it after I watched that first one. I'd be like,
Can be. Yeah, and I actually remember being uncertain. Our director, Chris Earle, was really convinced it was a great way to open the show. And I was like, maybe we should drop down a slot or two just because we're hitting them pretty hard with kind of a high, it's not super high concept, but it was a bit of a, you have to pay attention to the scene to kind of get what's going on. Because again, it's about Rob Ford without ever mentioning him. But he was right. And the opening the show, you want to get some smarts in early in a Second City show, because that gives you a license later in the show to be as dumb as you want. If you show them that you're smart and can do satire and be fun and be insightful, that gives you license later to basically, I'm serious, you can get away with more if you show them early that you're smart.
I swear we're smart, but here are the other.
Well, it's like, here, we've shown you the smart stuff. We've shown you our satire chops, and now here's a scene about some silliness for sure.
It's funny because I think this chat started in reverse. Here's all the silly, but definitely. Now let's get
100%. It did.
Maybe I should have opened with the smarts.
You're absolutely right.
Good discussion.
If I was making the running order of this interview, I would flip it for sure. I would We'd start with the Second City chats and then move on to Worm Farms and Lumberjack Hallmark movies.
Obviously, end off with the lumber. No. Now the Worm Farm Hallmark lead with a heart.
Yes, it all comes together for sure. That would be the callback. That'd be the final scene where all the scenes kind of come together. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But can I ask, when you did the touring company? Oh, maybe this is the arm. Okay. I wear this shirt. This is an overshare. There's holes in the sleeves, but I audition with it because no one knows that. And I was raising my arm, and I thought, is this the arm with the hole? I don't know.
Didn't see any holes, no. But
okay, then maybe it's the other side. Yeah, cool. Well, you know my secret. This is it's okay. No one watches this stuff. But I when you're touring, from a person that likes to know where they're staying on a daily basis, like how does the accommodation work?
I like your question about the touring company. It's not like, what's that process like? What's it like, working in the archives? It's like, what are the hotels like?
Yes.
These are
the important questions, okay?
The touring life is great. The touring life is brilliant. The touring company, unfortunately, at Second City doesn't do as much touring as it used to. At least when I was there, I only did a couple overnight trips. But it's always fun. You get put up in hotels. They're nice. They're not. All
right, now I'll consider auditioning. Thank you.
Yes, it's worth it for sure. No, they put you up in decent places, and they're just party times for sure. You go and you hang out with your cast after the show, and it's great. And actually, when I was directing there, after I'd long left the touring company, because I performed the touring company before Mainstage, they started doing more tours. So I think the touring company is picking up again as far as touring goes. At least it had when it was a thing that was and will be again after this pandemic is over. So that's exciting. So I was happy for them to get to kind of go and see some more of the country that I got to see. I think when I was in touring company, we stayed over once in Ottawa and once in Windsor. So both ends of the province. And in Elliott Lake. We went up to Elliott Lake. That was also very fun. So
I actually don't know where that is.
Again, that's north. So we did the triangle, triangle. So those trips are always fun and worth it. You go blow off some steam and hang out with each other and do dumb bits, and yeah, it's great.
Well, it's just funny at the end because you finish the show and then you get together as a group, and it's so funny because in my mind it's like maybe I should rest and keep all my jokes for the next show. But if anything, I think the comedy is so much better after the show and the things that you would come up with. So that's just nonstop, right? It's
writing. Whenever I direct or coach a troupe, I always encourage them to hang out. Go to the bar, have wings, have some drinks, hang out with your castmates, because that's
okay. You're saying have wings and have drinks. Yeah. What about the people that are vegan, and what about the people that don't drink? That is rude and inconsiderate, and I'm offended for those people. Thank you.
Finally, I've offended you. It's about time. Obviously, I would never coach a vegan or someone who didn't drink, so that's not applied to me. No.
That's why no one continued with your class, because you were just like really not open-minded.
Offended by me. No, the point is you hang out wherever you want with your castmates, because that again is where the bits happen. You do your, everyone has their jokes, and you'd be surprised how many actual kind of characters can arise from that, or premises. So yeah, it's that was always a highlight for sure, hanging out afterwards and having a good time, and yeah, it's great.
You got a shout out from Susie Q that you're awesome or the best. What was it? Oh, you are the best, Susie. In quotations.
That Sue is Ashley's grandmother, so thank you, Sue. Love you very much. I wish I was in the lead in more Hallmark movies. That would be great. So if anyone
have you ever done anything with Ashley?
Have I ever done anything with her?
Like on camera wise? No. Oh my God, Connor, this is a kid's show. It's not a kid show.
We've done everything. We've done a couple of shorts together, short films. But we've never been cast in like a commercial together or a film together. Not just through auditioning. Over the course of this last summer and over the course of this pandemic, they were auditioning a lot more couples, right? Bubble couples. So we auditioned a bunch of times for various things, but we never ended up, but got on hold for a couple of things, never booked them. So we saw, I don't think either of them are watching, but Sharjul and Nadine booked most of the spots that we went out for. So thanks a lot, guys. Nadine and Sharjul. You guys, such an attractive couple. That's the problem. We're not attractive as them. Ash, let me change that. Ash is attractive.
Okay. You're bringing her down. That's what's happening. You're bringing her down.
Yeah.
That's why, you know what? They pair you. I love who they pair me with. I'm like, huh, cool. This is an option for me. Noted, hubby. No.
100% true. I definitely bring the attractiveness level of our couple.
You should hold your dog in front of your face.
You're
Be
right.
like, this is me, I swear.
For sure. I would get cast immediately. So we actually haven't booked anything together. Someday we will, hopefully. But we perform together a lot. We perform in sketch troupe and improv troupe together. We did conservatory together. That's where we met. So there's lots of performing history with us, for sure.
That's very cute.
Mm-hmm. It was great.
All right. I've taken up a lot of your time, sir. I apologize because I'm Canadian.
It's been a pleasure.
But if there's any final words, oh yes, that's so funny. I'm looking. I'm like, no, that's just the gist of. But I did sketch you. This is what you look like.
Oh, that's uncanny. Wow.
It's actually it's so weird. The tail is just on point.
You really captured my tail for sure. You did capture
really
my tail.
Did.
Definitely.
That was just I forgot that was when we mentioned it. I'm like, why is that there? Yes, that was in the beginning of our discussion.
Many topics ago. But this was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me. And I'll come back anytime. And if anything Carrie says about me, just give me a chance to come in and rebut anything that Carrie says. That'd be great.
I think that could be really funny because you can have 4 people in this, but sometimes the audio's a little
Oh, yeah.
But we'll revisit. We'll see. Carrie might be totally fine with you and be, whoa, I don't know why Connor's throwing out so much hate. That was very awkward for me to watch. Which can be quite enjoyable. That's the magic.
You can do like a Jerry Springer thing where you start with Carrie and then surprise, I come out. I'm like, yeah, here we are. We just get right down to it. Yeah. Scrap it out.
But it's with a plastic axe, so there you go.
Yeah, couldn't lift anything. Oh, yeah,
he's not actually scared. Yeah. Because thank you so much for doing this. It was so great to chat. I love the randomness that was this chat.
Tons of fun.
Enjoy. Good luck.
Thank you.
Other words? Okay.
And to you. This was a wonderful way to start the week. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. And thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.